Welcome back to the channel, Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, as promised, we have to update on Real Madrid. There are important things to say, important updates to give, and so let's jump into it. Updated always to give you all the latest, and the market is moving, things are happening, so it's always important to give you context, to give you all the latest and to enter into several details. But today guys, I wanted to start talking about Real Madrid. To start updating about Real Madrid, because in terms of keeping you posted on the situation, I think here on the channel you found absolutely everything so far on the Álvaro Arbeloa situation, on the José Mourinho situation. I've been telling you for a long time how José Mourinho was and is ready to join Real Madrid, keen on joining Real Madrid, and very tempted by the possibility to join Real Madrid. The update I can give you today, guys, and it's an important update regarding José Mourinho, is that according to my information, the operation José Mourinho has started. So the contacts between José Mourinho, Real Madrid, and Jorge Mendes representing José Mourinho are underway. So the deal is on between Mourinho and Real Madrid. I can confirm 100% what I always told you. José Mourinho is keen on becoming the next Real Madrid manager. José Mourinho is ready to return to Real Madrid, and Benfica are aware of the situation. That's an important point, because José Mourinho is under contract with Benfica, but there is this release clause, 6 million euros gross, 3 million euros net, to let José Mourinho leave the club from now, end of the season to end of May. So that clause is an important point. But the relationship between Benfica and Real Madrid is excellent, is very good, and that's another important point. Then there is Mourinho. Mourinho is very keen on this opportunity. Mourinho is very open. Mourinho is very ready. Of course, I know it's been a point in Spain in the recent days, and of course, José Mourinho wants to have a conversation about the strategy, the plan, the budget, and all the rest before saying, okay, the contract is done. But in terms of financials, in terms of length of the contract, in terms of being open to this opportunity, José Mourinho is ready. José Mourinho wants to go to Real Madrid. That's out of doubt. So Mourinho is absolutely ready to become the next Real Madrid manager. Now, what's needed? The button, the green light, to be pressed by Florentino Pérez. Because the man who can decide whether this deal will be finalized or not is only the president, Florentino Pérez. This summer, the big decision on the manager in a complicated summer for Real Madrid is on Florentino Pérez. And so the president wants to go with his own decision. And so, while there are conversations already started weeks ago with Jorge Mendes, and now also concrete with José Mourinho, and this is despite what José will say in public, probably José Mourinho in terms of communication is one of the best managers in history, if not the best, on how he's always handled the situation with the press, the questions, and all the rest. So, I would leave aside what Mourinho is saying in press conferences, because it's part of the game, but the reality behind the scenes is that the contacts are ongoing, the deal is on, and now it's on Florentino Pérez to decide whether he wants to proceed. But also Benfica feel that José Mourinho's situation is absolutely open. And so that's why also Benfica are eventually opening doors to appointing a different manager if they can't keep Mourinho. So keep an eye on the situation, because things are moving with Mourinho. Mourinho is ready. There will be discussions on details of the appointment before having the green light. But Mourinho remains a strong candidate. Mourinho remains very much ready to take the job. Mourinho, despite links also with English clubs, is absolutely and totally prioritizing Real Madrid. According to people close to Mourinho, Mourinho feels at Real Madrid there is unfinished job for him. He already did very well at Real Madrid, but he believes he can do even more in his eventual second chapter at the club. So now he's on Florentino, but the operation José Mourinho is on. So let's see, let's follow the next steps, but the deal is on. And Benfica are also waiting for updates. Then what does it mean, guys? That I think in general, the recent days, also everything happening behind the scenes at Real Madrid, these problems in the dressing room, these tensions in the dressing room, not just in the recent days, I would say in the recent months, are showing that the situation needs to be changed. Florentino is absolutely sure about that. So Álvaro Arbeloa chances to continue at Real Madrid are now, I would say, under 5%. I keep just 1, 2, 3, 4%, because in football never say never, but in terms of internal feelings an internal decision at Real Madrid. Álvaro Arbeloa is absolutely expected to lose his job this summer and not to be the Real Madrid coach for season 26-27. So for Arbeloa, it's almost over. Mourinho is ready. On Jürgen Klopp, I keep receiving several questions, guys. But on Klopp, I maintain what I've always been told. Klopp is actively working for Red Bull Group. Klopp is completely focused on Red Bull Group. If Jürgen Klopp puts himself on the market and says, okay, I changed my mind, I want to be a manager again, in that case, for Real Madrid could be an option. But the first step should be on Jürgen Klopp, not on Real Madrid. This is how Real Madrid feel on this one, and that remains the story. So nothing has changed on this. Then another important point to mention is that for José Mourinho would be way easier because Mourinho is already on board. Mourinho is already prepared to say yes to Real Madrid. So it's a completely different story in terms of timing, in terms of preparing the deal. So that's the point. One final thing, I keep maintaining a name I've been mentioning to you several times here on the channel, Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos is absolutely tempted by the possibility to return to Real Madrid as part of the management team. That's a story from 3-4 weeks ago. I've always been telling you about this. Kroos is tempted, contacts are ongoing. There are conversations at early stages still, but with Toni Kroos very tempted by this possibility. Kroos wants to understand what should he do on daily basis at Real Madrid before saying, okay, this is the job for me. But in terms of general feeling, Kroos is absolutely open to returning to Real Madrid. Tempted by this opportunity, Real Madrid internally, and I'm told also the president, Florentino Pérez, believes that Toni Kroos, in terms of leadership, in terms of experience, in terms of mentality, in terms of relationship with the players, teach something to the players that would be absolutely important. So they believe that Toni Kroos could be crucial as addition into the management team. Again, more will follow on the manager, on Toni Kroos, and for sure on the players, because it's going to be a summer of movements also for players at Real Madrid. So we will be following absolutely everything. For example, David Alaba is leaving. His agent, Pini Zahavi, was in Italy over the recent days before flying to Barcelona to discuss David Alaba with Italian clubs. There are more proposals for him, so there are several clubs interested in David Alaba, who is going to part ways with Real Madrid at the end of the season. So there's going to be movement, but for sure at Real Madrid, the big story is the Mourinho operation on. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories, José Mourinho, Toni Kroos, Álvaro Arbeloa, but also players and much more here in the comments. As always, remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment every single day. We are here on YouTube together to keep you posted.